What's up, everybody? This is Dylan. That's Justin. ManToManFootball here. Avid Longhorn fan, avid Cowboy fan, both avid football fans. Let's get it.
All right, Dylan, let's jump right into this Dallas Cowboys season recap. Gonna kind of cover a couple of our unrestricted free agents moving on to next season, as well as kind of how this season went for the Cowboys. Some highlights, some lowlights. We'll cover it all. So right now, moving into the offseason, we have a couple notable unrestricted free agents. Dak Prescott is one of them, rumored to be working on a contract right now with Jerry Jones and his agent. I do believe we're going to sign Dak. I don't know how much. I hope we don't overpay because we're already in dire cap space need. But I do know we are going to sign him. Aldon Smith is walking away. Joe Looney, Joe Thomas, and Chidobe Awuzie are all most likely going to be leaving us this offseason. So, Dylan, let's talk about the beginning of this season. We came out against the LA Rams thinking I thought we were just going to blast the Rams. We talked about this Dallas Cowboys team being one of the better options in the NFC East. I say better options simply for the fact of is it was not that kind of season for us. Came out against the Atlanta Falcons, showed a little life. Dak Prescott leads us to a unbelievable comeback win against the Falcons. And then after that, we kind of fall apart. We lost to a Seattle team, and then we also lost to a Browns team. Might I add, both playoff implication teams right now. They're in the wild cards. Then week 5, Dak Prescott breaks his ankle. Dylan, how much of an influence do you think that had on this season? Obviously, losing a starting quarterback hurts you, but I talk about it after week 5. I do think Dak was the life of our offense, the heart and soul. Andy Dalton was not very vocal. He just kind of like he's gonna go out there and do his job, but he doesn't do anything fancy. He doesn't do anything prolific. He doesn't like cause any more or less. He doesn't bring any life to the team. He just kind of does what he's supposed to. Dylan, do you think that Dak Prescott was the turning point for this Dallas Cowboys team early on, and we just didn't know it yet?
Yeah, absolutely. And you hit on it. You lost your leader. You lost what was your chance and your faith at the start of the season. This was at the start of the season. This was a historically bad Dallas Cowboys defense, and it took miracle efforts. The Falcons game as an example for the Cowboys to get a win. And so when Dak goes down, when any starting quarterback goes down, I mean it hurts. Obviously, it's a huge blow to your team, your offense. But when Dak went down, man, it was deflating for the whole football team. And you really hit it when you said Andy Dalton was very unimpressive for me, at least. I know there were a lot of other injuries there too, offensive line and stuff, but I really thought Andy Dalton was going to come in and perform better than he did. And he looked, nothing more than a game manager type of guy, and absolutely fell flat in week 17. So Andy Dalton, very unimpressive, absolutely a turning point when Dak went down.
Yeah, he's obviously going to walk this year. We signed him for 1 year last year. I don't see how we could sign him again. I think we give Garrett Gilbert a chance at that number 2 spot for us. He looked a lot better. It looked a lot more promising, more or less to say. Moving on to the middle of the season. At this point, I think we are starting to lose most of our offensive linemen. We're already having issues with Tyrone Smith being out. We're already having issues with Lyle Collins starting to show issues. Kind of moving into the offensive line towards the later part of the season. This offensive line was broken beyond belief. Zach Martin had to take over for Terrence Steele. Looked like one of the worst offensive tackles in the league. He probably won't be on the team next year. I would be surprised if he is. The guy got beat every aspect of the game, inside, outside, bull rush, did not matter. This offensive line, looking into the positive next year, we have Tyrone Smith back. We'll have a Lyle Collins back. Zach Martin will be healthy. I think our biggest hole right now is our left guard position with Connor Williams. He is just not good at blocking big guys. That's the simple way to put it. He can't block big boys. I believe we have most likely I believe Joe Looney is I'm sorry, I talked about that earlier. Joe Looney is an unrestricted free agent. I don't know if we can pay that guy. I think we let Biotish take over at center next year, who's our rookie. We drafted him, I think, in like the 3rd or 4th round this year. The guy looked promising, so I think we're going to sit with Connor Williams. Dylan, this offensive line this year was abysmal. Do you think Zeke returns to form simply for the fact that our O-line is back next year? I truly believe that in my heart.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and I'd love to hope so. I really, at this point, I'm questioning, does Zeke really want it? We were kind of joking the Week 17 game. Every time he touched the football, he had to go out for a breather. And so how is he at this point in the season? How is he out of shape? Appreciate y'all watching the video this far. If y'all wouldn't mind, throw a like, throw a subscribe, comment down below. Tell Justin how cute he is. I mean, what is happening? You were paying him too much to not be one of the most productive running backs in the NFL, especially if there's a healthy offensive line in front of him. So I would love to think that Zeke's going to come back and potentially lead the NFL in rushing yards, right? I mean,
Right.
That would be ideal for the Cowboys. I don't know if Zeke wants it, man. Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, he did seem a little lazy this year, and again he kind of did have a I think it was more of a mental battle for him early on. He really struggled with fumbling the ball early this season within the first 8, and people were riding him hard, which I was too. I can't lie. It's not, I expect a lot from a guy who just got paid millions of dollars to hold on to the rock for us like
Right.
that, and
Right.
just constantly puts it on the ground. So I'm hoping that this year was just kind of a down year for Zeke, and he bounces back, and like you said, leads the league in rushing. I've always wanted. I'm a big fan of Emmitt Smith. Back in the day, I loved watching. When I was a younger kid, I loved watching Emmitt Smith play ball. I would love to see a Dallas Cowboys running back like Ezekiel Elliott put up 2,000 yards like Derrick Henry. That is something I've always wanted to see visually all season long, as a 2,000-yard running back. Zeke has the capabilities and the athleticism to be that kind of guy. I think Zeke just kind of got down on himself early on. He started to pick it up towards the end of the season, figured it out to stop wearing the sleeves and just hold the rock on his regular arm, and he really slowed down the fumbling. The guy finished. I don't know what the guy finished with this season fumbling wise, but he had a problem, and I did watch him fix it later on in the season. So that's the one thing I do have to give him positives about. I do hope with this offensive line bouncing back and him bouncing back, I hope we can run the ball next year, because that's what this team is built to do. And I think with Dak Prescott back and healthy, we will be a much more efficient offense throughout a 16-week season. Moving on to the defense here. The Dallas Cowboys defense, I think we're fine talent-wise. I do think we need corners. I think we need a secondary. We're looking most likely to sit at the number 10 pick right now. We are set at the 10 pick. I think we draft a corner or a safety. I've not heard much about safeties in this draft, so I think it's more likely to go corner at the number 10 position. Who that is, probably drop a video about who I think that might be soon. Okay, it's coming this week. I'm just letting you know. But yeah, so Cowboys sitting pretty at the number 10 pick. This defense has a lot of work to do. Dylan, do you think, if we get rid of Mike Nolan, because I think that's the only way we turn this defense around, if we get rid of that guy, will this defense figure out how to not let receivers run past them?
Man, I'd love to think so. It's good. I mean, look, I know Coach can do a lot for you, scheme and all that, and being able to teach guys, put guys in the right position. There's some things that, regardless of who your coach is, when LVE, doesn't know that the read option's coming, Lamar Jackson is a capable runner. There's some things like that you can't coach those things. Like, people just have to know that. I think the defense top to bottom has a lot of problems. I don't know necessarily how to fix it in one go. Maybe it's as simple as put a new defense coordinator in there and just give a guy another chance. Maybe he's more receptive to the players or something like. I mean, I don't know. I think you're absolutely right with drafts defensive guys, bring in new talent, flesh out some secondary stuff. You've been saying it for years off of YouTube. You would love a safety. I don't know that the top of the draft have has a safety. But in free agency, Justin, a guy like Earl Thomas is still out there, right? Nobody signed him up yet. Kind of have to see how the cap plays out there. There's a bunch of guys that the Cowboys need to kind of look at to re-sign and retain there. Some offensive linemen, some corners, or move on from even. So a lot of interesting things could happen. I think you retool the defense, probably bring in a new defense coordinator, and I think there could be some life on the defensive side.
Absolutely. So, Dylan, last but not least, moving on into the 2021 season, we're going to cover a little bit. So, we're showing you here, these are the Dallas Cowboys 2021 opponents. If you notice, we have a chance to prove that we are a playoff team. I think we had the potential to be a playoff team this year and a possible Super Bowl contender, just because I thought going into the season that we were going to be better at more or less everything. Quarterback, offense, defense. I thought our defensive front seven was going to be a force to be reckoned with. It was not. I think that has something to do with the D coordinator. But moving into 2021, we have a great chance to play against the Kansas City Chiefs. I haven't seen the Cowboys play the Chiefs in a while. Dylan, do you think this could be a what? Let me ask you this: what do you think of our next season opponents? Obviously, we play the Giants and Eagles, but what do you think of what we're playing with right now?
I think there's some very interesting ones, and when I'm kind of looking at it, I see two that you could really look at, like maybe three that you could look at as like those are almost guaranteed wins. Again, with a healthy Cowboys roster, I'm looking at the Falcons, the Broncos, and the Chargers as like we no idea what the Chargers are going to be next year with a new head coach and all that. They may be better, I don't know, but they need so much help around Justin Herbert. Those are kind of three right there that I'm looking at wins. And then you're absolutely right. You get a real opportunity to, test your playoff worth because you get the Bucs, you get the Saints, and then you get the Chiefs.
Right.
The Cardinals are up there. The Panthers with a new quarterback and a team on the rise. I think they're going to take a new quarterback. I'm just kind of projecting there a little bit.
Right.
And then hopefully you beat up on the NFC East, and
take over. Hopefully.
Yeah, I don't want to necessarily like count wins here, but
yeah,
because obviously it's way too early for all that. But I think I think a healthy Cowboys team is absolutely a playoff team.
Let me throw this at you. So I don't know if you've noticed this, but the NFL has talked about adding a 17th game to the season, and right now, if everything goes the way it's supposed to, this is our Week 17 opponent. So
I like it.
If ultimately it's added, we will most likely right now play the New England Patriots, and I think that our schedule is looking good. I think we have, like you said, some opponents that are definitely winnable games, and we have a couple of chances to show out who we will be next year, especially like in the playoff-esque chances. I really think that this team could do a lot with the season. This team can be a playoff team and even show that we're worthy of being a playoff team next season, just throughout the entire season. So that's a good way to wrap things up. Is guys, what do you think we should do? I think Mike Nolan needs to be gone. I've talked about that since like week 7. So, man, Dylan, anything else, man? Anything to wrap it up?
Man, I'm gonna be excited. It was obviously a rough season for you, a lot of ups and downs and all that. They're going to be healthy next year. They're coming in with a top 10 player. Whoever they end up taking will be a hopefully an impact player for them. And then let's go as far as the playoffs and all that, and getting to play some good teams next year. It's going to be fun to watch.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate y'all staying tuned to Man to Man Football throughout the video. Like, subscribe down below, guys. Appreciate it.